Hello student. Hello, good morning student. Okay, today we are starting our new chapter and the name of this chapter is quadratic equation. Okay, तो quadratic equation in the earlier classes, पिछली classes में आप लोगों ने पढ़ा है linear equation, okay, linear equation in one variable and second one is linear equation with two variable. And in the earlier chapter, पुराने chapter में हम लोगों ने पढ़ा linear inequation. Okay, now today we are starting our new chapter and the name of this chapter is quadratic equation. So what is the standard form of the quadratic equation? Yeah, what is the norm form of the quadratic equation? So if any equation is be written in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. The form of a quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So this is the standard form of a quadratic equation. Okay, ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is a quadratic equation. A quadratic equation where a, b and c belongs to real number. A, B, C belongs to real number, but a does not equal to 0. a कभी भी 0 नहीं होना चाहिए. If a is equal to 0 in this equation, so then quadratic equation it is not possible. Okay, so remember on your mind the standard equation of the quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, c is a real number, means is a number. Okay, any number, real number. Okay, and the a does not equal to 0, but a does not equal to 0, and in this equation how many variable are given? So only one variable, it is the x. Okay, means one variable. So quadratic equation is the equation of one variable. Quadratic equation is the equation of one variable and the highest power of the variable is 2. Okay, so if in any equation it is, if you have given one variable and the highest power of that variable is 2, so this type of the equation is known as quadratic equation. For example, if we take some example of the quadratic equation, so for example 5x square plus 2x plus 9 is equal to 0. Okay, so here is the one variable x and x. Okay, one variable x and highest power of the x is 2. Then it is the first example. Second example we can take x square plus 9x is equal to 0. Now, what is the value of c? When we compare this equation with ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. On comparing x square plus 9x square and 9x is equal to 0 with ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, so we find that a is equal to the coefficient of x square 1. Now b is equal to the coefficient of x, and the coefficient of x is 9. And what is the c is here? So c is nothing, means c is not given here, so we can take c is equal to 0. In the starting I already told you a does not equal to 0, but b and c we can take the 0, but a does not equal to 0. Okay, third example, if you have given x square and minus 9 is equal to 0, x square minus 9 is equal to 0, so this is also a quadratic equation, because here a is equal to 1. On comparing this again, this equation with ax square plus bx is equal to c equal to 0, so a is equal to, sir skip silent karo, a is equal to 1. And what is the value of b? The coefficient of x, and the coefficient of x are not present here, so b is equal to 0. And what is the value of c? So c is the number, so c is equal to minus 9. So remember on your mind, this is also a quadratic equation. Okay, so if the quadratic equation, now tell me in the comment section, the given equation is quadratic or not. एक इक्वेशन मैं आपको दे रहा हूं, इसको बताओ quadratic equation है या नहीं है. x square या x square is equal to 0 या x minus 16 is equal to 0. क्या ये quadratic equation है या नहीं है सर? Please write your answer in the comment section. Please write your answer in the comment section. X square minus 16 is equal to 0 is a quadratic equation or not? X square minus 16 equal to 0 is a quadratic equation or not? Please write your answer in the comment section. No sir. Samarth Kupreti, Kanishk Arora, your answer is no. Okay, very good. This is no. How it is possible? No sir, this is a quadratic equation. X square minus 16 is equal to 0. When we compare this equation with ax square plus bx plus c, so what is the a? A is equal to 1. The coefficient of x square, a is equal to 1. So a is equal to 1 means a does not equal to 0. So when a does not equal to 0, so that time the equation is quadratic equation. A यहाँ पे 1 दे रखा है, तो 1 है तो मतलब x square and minus 16 is equal to 0 and b is equal to 0. But according to the condition, b और c में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, a 0 नहीं होना चाहिए. ओके, तो a is not equal to 0 and minus 16 is equal to 0. Then b is equal to comparing with this, to x, coefficient of x, so then b, but here coefficient of x is not given, so b is equal to 0. And last c is equal to minus 16, so c is equal to minus 16. Can we write this equation in the form of x square या plus या minus, you can take anything, 0x minus 16 is equal to 0. Can we write the same equation in the form of x square plus 0x minus 16 is equal to 0? If we can write this equation in this form, so tell me this is quadratic or not? Yes, this is a quadratic equation. Okay, Samarth and Kanishk Arora, this is your quadratic equation. But if I asked to you minus 4x and plus 6 is equal to 0, so then tell me this is quadratic or not? Is it quadratic or not? क्या ये quadratic equation है या नहीं है? अब मुझे बताओ. Minus 4x plus 6 is equal to 0 is a quadratic or not? Yes, write your answer in the comment section. Minus 4x plus 6 is equal to 0 is a quadratic or not? Hardik Ramola, yes, no. Hardik Ramola, your answer is wrong. Simran Answal, no sir. Okay, Simran Answal, very good. This is not a quadratic equation because the ax square, the form of the quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. The coefficient of x square is a and we have not given the term in the form of x square. So here x a is equal to 0, and when I started this topic I already told to you if ax square plus bx is equal to c, if a does not equal to 0, अगर a 0 के इक्वल नहीं है तब क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन होने वाली है, बट इन दिस पार्ट a is equal to 0, तो how it is possible it is a form of quadratic equation. Okay, here the ax square is not present here, and if you want to say that sir can we write the same form in same equation in the form of ax square plus bx, if you want to write this one, so we can write 0x square because a is not given, to 0x square minus 4x and plus 6 is equal to 0. Now tell me sir, what is the value of a here? A is 0, so how it is possible it is a quadratic equation? Okay, so this is not a quadratic equation. Means which question? Minus 4x plus 6 is not a quadratic equation. Yeah, another example. Now one more example I am giving. Then write the answer of this question in comment section. Minus 2x plus 16 is equal to 0. Is it a quadratic or not? Is the equation is quadratic or not? Write the answer in the comment section. Please write your answer in comment section. This equation my plus 2x plus 16 is equal to 0. Okay, so many answers are coming. Simran Answal, no sir. Samarth Kukreti, no. Yes, Hardik Ramola. And Samarth Kukreti again writing no sir. Okay, very good to all of you. This is not a quadratic equation because the coefficient of x square is 0 here. Okay, because the coefficient of x square is not given, it means it is 0. So it's also not a quadratic equation. Okay, so I hope you understand the concept of quadratic equation. If any equation can be write in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, so that equation is known as quadratic equation, where a, b, c belongs to real number, and as you know that real number, okay, every number present in the number line, okay, decimals number, the negative number, positive number are the real number, but a does not equal to 0. a 0 नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर a 0 हो गया, if a equal to 0, तो quadratic equation is not possible. Okay, quadratic equation बनेगी ही नहीं अगर a 0 हो गया. तब हमारे पास क्या बचेगा? ये 0, तो highest power of the x is 1. तो I already told you the highest power of the x in the quadratic equation must be 2. Okay, so if the highest so what is the quadratic equation? Now I am explaining the definition of a quadratic equation. If any equation there is one variable and the highest power of that variable is 2, the highest power of that variable is 2, so that equation is known as quadratic equation. Okay, so I hope you understand the concept of quadratic equation. Now I am taking the one more concept based on the quadratic equation. Now roots of a quadratic equation. So first of all I am explaining what is the roots of a quadratic equation. Okay, so what do you mean by root? So root is the number, root is the value of this equation which satisfy the whole equation. Means, for example, when we solve any equation, for example, you have given 2x square plus 5x plus 9 is equal to 0. So when we solve this equation, तो we will get the two answer of the x. हमें x के कितने आंसर मिलेंगे? 2 आंसर. Now how it is depend? We will get the 2 answer. So the highest power of the x is 2. So then we will obtain the 2 root of this equation. If you have given the equation in the form of power of 3, so if it is x cube plus 2x square plus 9x plus 9 is equal to 0. So the highest power of the x is 3. So how many root of this equation are possible? So 3 root are possible, 1, 2 and 3. But if the highest power of the variable is 3, so is not your quadratic equation. ये quadratic equation नहीं है, because I already explained the highest power of the variable should be 2. That equation will be a quadratic equation. Okay, this is not your quadratic equation. I am explaining how many roots are possible of this equation. So it is depend on the highest power. So highest power is 2, so 2 root are possible. Highest power is 3, so 3 roots are possible. If highest power is 100, so how many root are possible? So 100 roots are possible. Okay, so next. The root is the, what is the root? The root is the value of an equation which satisfies the given equation. Means, for example, I am taking one question for you. X x square and minus 9 is equal to 0. So sorry, x square minus 9, so this one we can write x square minus 3 square is equal to 0. Okay, so then can we write this equation in the form of a square minus b square? So a square minus b square, a plus b and a minus b is equal to 0. So x is equal to, when we take x plus 3 is equal to 0, so x is equal to minus 3. Second time x minus 3 is equal to 0, so x is equal to 3. So these are the two value of the x. So these two value are known as root of this equation, and when we substitute this x is equal to minus 3 in the given equation, to minus 3 whole square and minus 9, and the right hand side is 0. So minus 3 whole square, 9 minus 9, right hand side is 0, the left hand side 0, right hand side 0. Similarly, substitute the another part of the x. So x is equal to 3, so 3 whole square minus 9 is equal to 0, the 9 minus 9 is equal to 0, the left hand side 0, right hand side also 0. So when we substitute these two value of the x in the given equation, so this equation satisfies the given equation. So when the value of x will satisfy the given equation, so the number, the value of x is known as the root of that equation. So I hope you understand the concept of root. Next, first point. So what is the rule of the quadratic equation? So in and every quadratic equation there are two roots are possible. Okay, so in a quadratic equation how many roots are possible? Two roots are, okay, two roots of a quadratic equation. Next one is, how can you find the root of a quadratic equation? If you have given any quadratic equation, so how can you find the root of that quadratic equation? So I am starting the x square plus 2x minus 15. It is a simple example. X square plus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0. The question is x square plus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0. The question is, find the root of this equation. Find the root of this equation. So first of all, this is your quadratic equation. This is your quadratic equation. So now compare this equation with ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. On comparing the given equation with ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So what we will obtain here? So what is the value of a? A is equal to the coefficient of x square. So what is the coefficient of x square? Nothing is given, that means 1. Okay, now b is equal to the coefficient of x. So b is equal to 2, and the c is equal to now c is positive and the value we have given is negative, so c is equal to minus 15. Okay, this is a very basic question. Now how can you find the root of this equation? So there are the two methods. One is the splitting method and second one is the by using the formula. Okay, so in the next exercise we will deal with the formula. How can we find the root with the help of a formula? But in the first exercise we will use here splitting method. So how can we apply the splitting method here? So there will be a rule. How can we find the root of the quadratic equation? Okay, so first find the product of a and c. Find the product of a and c. So what is the a? This is a and this is the c. So what is the product of a and c is here? So the product of a and c. A is equal to 1 and c is equal to minus 15. So the product of a and c is minus 15. Okay. Now find the factor of the 15. Find the factor of the 15. You break the 15 in such a way now multiplication of a and c. What is the multiplication of a and c? A is 1, c is minus 15. So minus 15 to 15. Okay, we can take the 15. Now find the factor of 15. Find the factor of 15 in such a way the difference of the factor, addition of the factor, the difference of a factor, addition of the factor of 15 is equal to the b. इस 2 के इक्वल होना चाहिए. ओके, तो 15 आया था, 15 के ऐसे फैक्टर फाइंड करो कि वो किसके इक्वल हो जाए? 15 के ऐसे फैक्टर फाइंड करो कि सम या डिफरेंस, एडिशन और डिफरेंस करने पे, उन फैक्टर का एडिशन या डिफरेंस करने पे आपके पास कितना बचना चाहिए, 2 बचना चाहिए। तो 5 into 3, तो 5 3 जा 15, 5 3 जा 15, 5 3 जा 15, these are the factor of the 15, 5 3 जा 15 and the difference of the 5 and 2, it is the difference of 5 and 2 is 5 and 3, so it is 2. So then here we can put here x square then plus 2, it is the 2x. So how can we solve this part? We can write here plus 5x 2x बनाना है तो minus 3x plus 5x minus 3x and minus 15 is equal to 0, minus 15 is equal to 0. Okay, so x square is common out, in this part we can take x common out, so x plus 5 and next in the second part minus 3 is common out और try to make a same base, same factor, इसमें भी और यहाँ पे भी सेम बनना चाहिए। तो कितना हो जाएगा x and plus 5 is equal to 0, x and 5 is equal to 0. Now x plus 5 is common out and second part x minus 3 is left is equal to 0. So take the x plus 5 is equal to, first time it is equal to 0, x is equal to minus 5 and second time x minus 3 is equal to 0, x is equal to 3. So these are the two value of x, minus 5 and 3. x is equal to minus 5 or x is equal to 3. So these two 5 and minus 3 we can say that this is the root of this equation. इस equation के लिए क्या दोनों root है and if you want to try and check your answer this is correct or wrong, so we can substitute the both value one by one in the given equation. So first put the 3, so 3 square 9 plus 2x, 3 2 ja 6, 9 plus 6, so 9 plus 6 15 and left minus 15 is equal to 0. So left hand side is equal to right hand side. Similarly when we put the x is equal to minus 5 in this equation, so left hand side is, we will get left hand side is equal to right hand side. Okay, so this is a simple numerical based on the quadratic equation. Okay, now I am taking one more example, it is based on the another equation. Okay, and the question is 4 root 3 x square plus 5x minus 2 root 3 is equal to 0. So 4x cube 4 root 3 x square plus 5x minus 2 root 3. So this is your question and find the root of this equation. So again we will apply the same concept here. So first find the product of a and c. So what is the product of a and c? So a multiplied by c is equal to 4 under root 3 into 2 under root 3. So then it is 4 2 is 8, 4 2 is 8, 4 2 is 8 or into under root 3 under root 3 3, 8 3 is 24. Now find the factor of 24 in such a way so the subtraction and the addition of the factor it is equal to this 5x या it is equal to the 5. ओके, तो इस 24 को ऐसे ब्रेक करो या इसके ऐसे फैक्टर निकालो कि क्या हो जाए, उसका प्लस या माइनस करने पे हमें क्या मिले, 5 मिले। अगर ये तो हो गए स्मॉलेस्ट नंबर, ये तो हो गए छोटे नंबर, एंड इफ यू आर डीलिंग विद द लार्जर नंबर ऑफ 3 डिजिट या 4 डिजिट, तो हाउ कैन यू फाइंड द फैक्टर? तो देयर वी कैन यूज द प्राइम फैक्टराइजेशन मेथड. ओके, तो विद द हेल्प ऑफ द प्राइम फैक्टराइजेशन मेथड वी कैन फाइंड द फैक्टर. तो सिमिलरली आई एम यूजिंग द प्राइम फैक्टराइजेशन मेथड हियर. तो देन 2 12 is 24, next 2 6 is 12, 2 3 is 6 and 3 1 is 3. So the factor are 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. Now arrange this factor. इनकी हेल्प से दो ऐसे नंबर बनाओ कि क्या हो जाए, उनका सब्ट्रैक्शन या एडिशन किसके इक्वल हो, 5 के इक्वल हो और प्रोडक्ट 24 के इक्वल हो. तो देखो कौन सा हो रहा है सर, 2 2 जा 4 2 जा 8, तो 8 into 3 8 into 3 24 and 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. Okay, so 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. So then we can write 4 root 3 x square plus 8 minus 3 and please remember here it is the sign of plus. तो आपको भी वैल्यू ऐसे करनी है कि जैसे क्या आ जाए 8x minus 3x, so then we will obtain 5x. If it is here minus, अगर यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन में माइनस है तो क्या हो जाएगा, 8x minus 3 नहीं होगा इस केस में. अब हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा, minus 8x and plus 3x, then we will get minus 5x. So it is based on the question. The 5x we can write, what can we write? So this we can write 8x minus 3x. So 8 3 are 24 and 8 minus 3 is 5 and minus 2 under root 3 is equal to 0. So then what is common out? The common out is here 4 is common and x is common. So 4x common. So what is left? Under root 3 and x and plus 4 2 is 8 and x is common out. Next what is the common here? So similarly we can take the, अच्छा यहाँ पे फर्स्ट में x के साथ अंडर रूट बन रहा है तो यहाँ पे भी क्या कॉमन लो सर? अंडर रूट 3 कॉमन लो. तो अंडर रूट 3 इज कॉमन आउट एंड नेगेटिव साइन आल्सो कॉमन आउट. तो दिस इज 3. तो अंडर रूट 3 कॉमन आउट. तो व्हाट इज लेफ्ट? तो 3 we can write under root 3 into under root 3. So then 1 is 3 common out. How many root 3 are left? 1 root 3. So 1 root 3 and then x is remain here because हम लोगों को ये बनाना है. तो x and plus minus is common out. तो plus 2 is left and under root 3 common out is equal to 0. So again this is common. So under root 3x and plus 2 is common and second part is this is common. So 4x minus root 3 is equal to 0. So first time take this factor is equal to 0. So under root 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. So what is the value of x? X is equal to taking 2 in minus to minus 2 upon root 3 and second time 4x minus root 3 is equal to 0. So 4x is equal to under root 3. So x is equal to under root 3 upon 4. So these are the two root of the x and if you want to verify your answer, so you can substitute these two values in the given quadratic equation and if left hand side is equal to right hand side, so our answer will be correct. Okay, so I hope you understand the concept of quadratic equation and how can we solve the quadratic equation. Okay, so this is the simple method. आप लोगों ने 8th क्लास में और 9th क्लास में भी quadratic equation फाइंड करने के जो मेथड होते हैं वो भी किए होंगे. अब नेक्स्ट जो एक्सरसाइज आएगी उसमें हम लोगों ने किस पे बेस्ड क्वेश्चन करने हैं. तो इन द नेक्स्ट एक्सरसाइज वी विल टेक बेस्ड ऑन द क्वेश्चन how can we find the root of a equation with the help of a formula. Okay, next I am taking one more question. X square minus this is also simple question. Minus 2 is equal to 0. X square minus 5x upon 2 is equal to 0. So the solution of this equation, so take this 2 in right hand side. So x square minus 5x and 2 into 0 तो 0. अब यहाँ पे ये दूसरी फॉर्म बन गई, मतलब है ये क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन बट थोड़ा सा चेंज है. ओके, तो इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट मत करना अपने आप में. कहीं आपने बोला सर ऐसी कोई फॉर्म नहीं होती है. Okay, and those are student are joining this live session right now. Okay, तो आप लोगों को अगर समझ में नहीं आता है तो अगेन वॉच दिस वीडियो फ्रॉम द स्टार्टिंग. मैंने ये सारी चीजें स्टार्टिंग में बता रखी है. ओके, एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस 5x इज इक्वल टू 0. तो व्हाट विल बी द सॉल्यूशन ऑफ दिस इक्वेशन? नाउ व्हेन वी कंपेयर दिस इक्वेशन ax स्क्वायर प्लस bx प्लस c इज इक्वल टू 0. तो व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ a? a इज इक्वल टू द कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ x square. तो कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ square is 1. Now b is equal to the coefficient of x. So the coefficient of x is -5 but c is equal to 0. अब आप बोलेंगे कि सर a मल्टीप्लाई बाई c करेंगे तो ठीक है, इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. यहाँ पे तो कॉमन है, सीधा ये क्या है x square minus 5 is equal to 0. Now how many answers are possible of this equation? The highest power is 2. So we can obtain our 2 answer. So we can take x is a common out. सीधा ले लो, शॉर्टकट है. x is common out तो x minus 5 is left in the bracket is equal to 0. ठीक है, तो this is the first factor and x minus 5 is the second factor. The first time take x is equal to 0. When we take this whole part in right hand side, to 0 upon x minus 5 it become 0. So first part is x is equal to 0 and second time x minus 5 is equal to 0. It means we are calculating for this part. So when this will be when x going to the right hand side, to 0 upon x 0. So then x minus 5 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 5. So this is the solution of root of this equation. So these are the two possible root. When you check your answer to substitute these value to 0, so then 0 minus 5 into 0, so the left hand side 0. सेकंड x 5, तो 5 5 to 25 minus 5 into 5 25, तो 25 minus 25 0. Okay, so these are the very simple question. Okay, this is also a very easy chapter in your syllabus. Next one is 1 upon 3x minus 1 and 1 upon 2 x plus 7 equal to 0. 1 upon 3x minus 1, 1 upon 2 x plus 7 is equal to 0. Okay, तो बहुत टाइम आपको क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन डायरेक्ट गिवन होगी, बट सम टाइम यू विल गिव द, मतलब आपके पास क्या गिवन होगी, एक इक्वेशन गिवन होगी पर वो क्वाड्रेटिक नहीं है, तो दैट टाइम वी हैव टू अरेंज द given equation in the form of quadratic equation. तो similarly here this is the simple in the form of a factor, ये factor की फॉर्म में given है, जैसे हम लास्ट में बनाते हैं x minus 5 x plus 5, similarly it is here. तो so first of all we have to convert. अच्छा, it is a very simple question, यहाँ पे कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. First time take this part 1 upon 3 x minus 1 because the equation is already given in the form of a factor. जैसे यहाँ पे x minus 5, तो this is also given in already in the factor, यहाँ पे मल्टीप्लाई करने की जरूरत नहीं है. तो take this part, so when we will take this part, so it will take in the right hand side, so right hand side 0. Okay, 1 upon 3x minus 1 is equal to 0. So 1 upon 3x is equal to 1 in right hand side positive 1, so 1 into x and upon 3 is equal to 1, so x is equal to 3. This is the first solution. And second 1 upon 2x plus 7 is equal to 0. Okay, तो कितना हो जाएगा, x upon 2 is equal to minus 7, so x is equal to minus 7 into 2 minus 14. So this is also very simple question. Now I am taking one long question, means when you have not given a quadratic equation, that time we have to arrange the equation, yeah, the given condition in the form of a equation. Okay, so this is your 17(1) x upon x minus 1 plus x minus 1 upon x is equal to 2 whole 1 by 2. 2 whole 1 by 2. X upon x minus 1 plus x minus 1 upon x is equal to 2 whole 1 by 2. So then now this time factor भी given नहीं है, equation also not given, ये आपके पास एक fractional form है. So then here we have to arrange this fractional form या this form into the quadratic equation. So how can we convert this quadratic this form in the quadratic equation? तो just we have to do simplification here. हमें x square की form में बनाना है, LCM लो, cross multiply, then after that we will obtain a quadratic equation. So can we apply the cross multiplication या LCM? So this when x and this x multiply by x minus 1. So then x into x square plus x minus 1 x minus 1. So x minus 1 multiply by 2 times, means we can write x is minus 1 whole square, and in the denominator x minus 1 multiply by x is equal to 2 to the 4 and 1 5 by 2. Okay, next हमें डिनोमिनेटर को फिनिश करना है, तभी तो क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन बनेगी. अगेन क्रॉस मल्टीप्लिकेशन, तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एक्सपेंड दिस x minus 1, so then we can write x square plus a minus b whole square, तो a square plus b square and minus 2ab 2 into x into 1, so 2x is equal to and upon multiply this part also, we can multiply this part also, so this is x square minus x is equal to 5 upon 2. Now cross multiplication, so cross multiplication, the 2 multiply with denominator and this is also multiplying right hand side numerator, so 2x square plus 2x square and plus 2 minus 4x is equal to 5x square and minus 5x. Okay, so take this whole part in left hand side, because the right hand side of the quadratic equation it will be a 0, so we can take this whole part in left hand side. So then it is 2 to the 4, so 4x square and plus 2 minus 4x minus 5x square and plus 5x is equal to 0. So then 4x square and minus 5x square minus x square, 4x square plus minus 5 square minus x square. Next minus 4x plus 5x, so minus 4 plus 5, so plus x. Okay, and the last one is plus 2 is equal to 0, plus 2 is equal to 0. If the negative sign is coming with the x square, so if there is any complication, अगर आपको कोई थोड़ा सा टफ लगता है तो we can write minus is the common in the whole part, minus is common in the whole part, तो then all the sign will be reverse, सारे sign reverse हो जाएंगे, तो then x square minus common, तो then it will be negative x and minus 2 is equal to 0, so then transfer this negative in right hand side, so x square minus x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now immediately solve this equation and find the answer of this quadratic equation. Please solve this equation and find your answer, x square minus 2x minus 2. X square minus x minus 2. What will be the solution of this equation? Please write in the comment section what is the value of this quadratic equation. What is the summer? One answer is coming 2 and minus 1. X is equal to 2 and minus. Simran also one. Her answer also 2 minus 1. Okay, very good all of you. Your answer is correct, 2 and minus 1. Okay, so I hope you understand the concept of the quadratic equation. Next, and please inform to your other classmates, those are not joining this live session. Okay, Shibam Kandodi, welcome in this live session. Your answer is x is equal to 2 and x is equal to minus 1. Okay, Shibam Kandodi, once again welcome this live session. Okay, maybe this time is 8:45 and the time of the next class is starting maybe. Okay, so now I am leaving this session and tomorrow again we will meet in morning 8 a.m. Okay, thanks for watching this video and please try to solve the so many question of the quadratic equation in your notebook, your notebook, your rough notebook. Okay, thanks for watching this video and give your like.